Hi guys, welcome to Camp. Today I'm going to be going over my 2003 Jianshe Puma. So this is it. This is my Jianshe Puma quad bike. 250cc in here. This quad bike here I recently rebuilt. You can see the picture there. That's what it used to look like. I rebuilt this entire thing, repainted the frame. You can see here it's all nice. Got a nice kind of paint on it. Repainted the engine. And then these wheels here, also repainted all of those. In front here, I've put this Bulbar from a Polaris Sportsman. Two nice little spotlights on here. I think these are 4-inch. And then I've got a 3,000-pound winch on the front here. Pretty decent little export winch, but I welded a base plate onto this Bulbar here. That's the little winch controller there. That controls the winch. On here, I've put 3 gauges on there, voltage, temperature and oil pressure. This is under here, so they're just connected in there onto the engine. Oil pressure there, temperature right there. I also have this custom gear shifter that I made. It's a foot shifter. It's a heel toe sort of shifter on there. Having a look at this engine here, it's just a carbureted engine. This is your forward and reverse. There's a little button there. Pull that forward and back, and that selects your drive and your reverse. Here, recoil starter on the side here. That's the pull starter, if your battery dies, something like that. And then here, that's your throttle there. That's your throttle adjustment, and that's your air fuel mixture screw. This is an electric choke carburetor, so there's no choke on it. It's all electronic. That's the plug for the choke there. It's really handy. As soon as you start the engine, splice 12 volts through there, turns off the choke. Starts up really easy, first time always. Moving over to the back now, and I've got this little reverse light I put in there. This comes on as soon as I put the thing into reverse. It's all cabled up through here, under the rack there. Here, I've got a little box in there. That is my winch controller, the remote. Then here, I've got USB and 12-volt outlet. That's just a little voltage display. I keep a little stuff in there. I custom made this, so it's magnetic, so you just do that. Locks in place, never really comes undone. It's quite a good magnet on it. Here, full-size tow ball, you find those in the car. Tow a lot of stuff with this. I'm not sure on the towing capacity, but it's upwards of around, I'd say, half a ton. Over here, rear diff, pretty neat little diff. Oil in there, breather up there. I need to get a breather hose on that pretty quick so I can do some river crossings just to stop water from getting in there, whatnot. Inside here, rear drum brake. It's controlled by cable that goes to your front handle, and it's controlled by a foot brake. This is the foot brake, pull that, sprung loaded. Same here, rear brake. Stock Jianshe Pumas will have their key array and their reverse and forward lights over there, but I've put this little key in there, turn that on, gauges all come to life, and then the back here, the little voltage display lights up, and these here both start supplying power. Here, front control like I mentioned before, that's the kill switch, start. Here we've got lights, we've got low beam, high beam, and then that's your spotlights come on when the high beam's on. I'll show you here. That's low beam, high beam, and then spotlights come on there. Back here, reasonable size rear rack. Only downfall is small stuff will just fall straight through and slide around if you don't tie it on. But it's pretty sturdy. The stock weight on this is 45 kilograms, so it's a decent amount of weight. Sure, you could fit more. Front stock has a front rack that sits here, bolts on through there, holds the plastics on there. I've removed that just because I've got a custom Bulbar setup on the front here. I'll just show you the winch. That's the out button there, on switch there, I'll just turn that on. Wind this out. See, pulls it in quite nicely. brakes are off, so it's not too hard to pull. But I like this winch, it's really handy just getting out of sticky situations that you don't really want to be in. One thing I don't like about this bike is it doesn't have a tail light. It has a tail light that normally fits on here. I've removed that just because it looks really ugly in my opinion, but it doesn't have any brake lights. That's a bit of a downfall. One of the handles here does have a switch. I think it was this one here, but that switch broke, so I've just had to remove it. You normally pull that switch in and the thing will start up. So what I've done is had to do some wiring and get it so that I can just start it straight away. It's not too big of a problem, especially when I'm just riding on my own. You don't really have someone behind you. I put my key on, just go ahead and start it up. Push the button here. Usually I have to give it a bit of throttle just to get it to go, but after that it runs really nice. I've got a custom muffler on the back here. This isn't the stock muffler, so pretty loud. So this, as I turn it on, this choke's coming up, so it slowly comes up, so it doesn't just kill the engine straight away, but it's slowly coming up, letting this thing run. All I have to do is put this thing in gear. It just rides quite nicely. I have noticed recently, because it's quite an old bike, I think it's the dog gears that are starting to slip, but as I speed up, you can notice the gearbox starts to slip. It's a bit disappointing after doing this work. You just sort of find out that this gearbox is kind of slipping, but it is what it is. It's not too bad for low-end stuff, but as you start to use it on high-speed situations, it doesn't fare too well. Should just take it for a drive now. Thing's got plenty of power to it. This quad bike here is the sister, or it's a copy to the Yamaha Bear Tracker. This engine, pretty much everything, the frame, the shocks, the rear suspension, it's all the same, which is just good because you're getting essentially a Yamaha for a cheaper price. And you can also put Yamaha parts in there, spares, and all that. Okay, so I've put the quad here on a bit of dirt, show you a bit of a launch, show you how much power it puts down to the ground. Once you get going, it does skid quite a bit. I'm not really scared. But you do notice it starts to slip when you put your throttle all the way down. Although quite a bit of power when you put your finger down, it just really sort of seems to launch. Just go out in the bush there, show you a bit of driving action. This thing's horrible is not quite the word, but it performs pretty poorly on a track. It doesn't really handle all that well. It's not really quick to maneuver. It does have a bit of weight behind it, but it's awesome for trails, has heaps of grunt when you're pushing down trees, all that sort of stuff. That is about it for this video. That is my overview of this Jianshe Puma 250 quad bike. Let me know what you thought of this quad bike in the comments, or if you have one and what you think of this machine. This thing does compare to some of the more expensive models, in my opinion. Big wheels. Wish it was four-wheel drive. The four-wheel drive would just sort of top it off, but it is a really capable machine without the four-wheel drive. Without four-wheel drive, it's always just handy to have a winch, just in case you get stuck in the bush and you need a bit of extra assistance. But overall, really good little machine. Considering the price, I reckon it's definitely worth checking out. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.